Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Salut. I am the Rasta Witch. Here's where we learn the way of the Yansui Rasta, which is to say, my kind of Ital. Please subscribe and begin your own kind of Yansui witchcraft. All roads lead to Rome. Home. Okay. Anyone that knows the works of Bruce Lee has heard him say many times that we should be like the nature of water. Water is soft, takes any shape, and is stronger than anything on the planet. It is the foundation of his martial arts, Jeet Kune Do. Today, we will look at the Hanged Man in the tarot. Oh my gosh, is that card upside down? Oh, just kidding. At first glance, one certainly notices how odd the picture is in the card. A man hanging upside down. With a closer look, you can see he is enjoying himself. At least in most decks. Children enjoy looking at the world upside down. It's so interesting to see the world from a new perspective. I even wrote a song about it called New Perspectives. I'll leave a link in the description. When Bob Marley was asked what it takes to be a Rasta, he answered that first you gotta be born again. Those of us that have read the New Testament know what he means, a spiritual rebirth. This is exactly what this card is all about, being born again with a new perspective. Knowledge, virtues, and wisdom are achieved through taking a reversed position. We will have to suspend the activities of normal life for a while in order to do this. The day for nocturnal, the night for diurnal. The Roman numeral for this card is 12. Like the 12 months of the year, the last point before a renewal in the wheel of the year. Or is it the first step before the next year begins? Everything is a perspective. Let's take a closer look at the cards. Here's the Sephiroth deck's Hangman. First we see that he's submerged in water. And we already went over that he looks like he's enjoying it. That's pretty interesting. One of the most, like any, see the Hangman. In this deck is called the Hangman. In this deck is called the Suspended Person. But see, they're all hanging in that same position. That's the thing that all Hangman cards are going to have. And it's because the downward pointing triangle is the symbol for elemental water. And you can see behind him, see that right there? That is that kelp is in the shape of Mem, the Hebrew character Mem. Mem is the corresponding Hebrew character. Mem means water. Let's look at the chart. The pathway of the Hanged Man connects number 8, Chad, which is intellectuality, with number 5, Jabura, meaning strength, and is the masculine side of the archetypal polarity below the abyss. He connects thinking and archetypal strength. Back to the Sephiroth deck's card. So notice there, His necklace is a snake eating its tail. For eternal life. A new perspective through water brings the first month of the new year, eternal life. We can't help but think of one of the most famous dreadlocks in the Bible, John the Baptist. He paved the way for Jesus, teaching that the path to eternal life begins with water baptism. The willing participant being born again into a new perspective from John's teachings of the Essenes would then be dunked into the water, fully submersing themselves. John would dunk them in the water, fully submersing them. Then he would pull them back up out of the water. The new perspective is the first day of the rest of their lives. The new knowledge will set them free from what used to plague them. Being submerged in water is a symbol of dying and being buried, and being raised up out of the water is for the resurrection. This card is the true meaning of resurrection. It is spiritual, not some corpse being raised up out of the ground, like in some kind of horror movie or something. Let's look at the Thoth Decks Hangman card. The figure is Osiris or Christ, depending on your perspective. See, because his arms are nailed and his foot there. And you start to realize that this also can be the shape of a cross. But it isn't. It's elemental water. It just is that on this card. He's nailed into the position of the cross, which means redemption through suffering, according to the guidebook. We all must bear our crosses in life. His foot is bound to the Ankh. That's the Egyptian Ankh for life. His foot is bound to the Ankh of immortality by the serpent of life. See, if you look closer, it's actually a serpent. The complete symbol is a triangle and a cross, according to the guidebook. Now let's look at the herbal tarot card. The corresponding herb is kelp. He is vulnerable in a bed of kelp, an octopus's garden, like the Beatles say. This card is ruled by Neptune, the merman. Kelp is a demulcent and a dissolvent of tumors. It can stimulate the thyroid, remove goiters, and stimulate metabolism. This is the card of initiation and spiritual breakthroughs. You have found your own way, so can begin on your road to Rome, home. This card will support you when you realize that your value system has shifted so deeply that you feel different. You might even be losing friends who no longer share your interests. It reminds me of transitioning to a different gender. So your new perspective gives you a wider view in this card, and you would not return to a more orthodox position at this point. You see the world differently now. A new look of life, getting a new perspective on yourself. As a result, old ideas are falling away. You have gained more understanding of both past and future, old and new. Your new perspective may ask sacrifices of you so that you can focus on what is newly important. You believe in your convictions. You were a caterpillar, now you are a butterfly.